Waha!
Yo,
Jay!
what it do?
The first time I've seen you since the world ended.
Right?
You looking good?
Yes, bro. Oh, thank you. You too, man.
Where are you? Are you outside?
I'm outside in the house. I was actually trying to do it from my studio, but it's so dark in there, man.
It's all good. Well, it's lovely to see you and to
Yeah.
lovely to have you on What's Your Poison?
Bro, I'm so excited, man. I've got this whiskey here that you sent to my house. I haven't opened it yet. I have a glass. I'm not much of a drinker, but like I'm looking forward to this. Ah, good.
Yeah, we do it together, man. So
Yeah.
this this whiskey is pronounced. It's spelled funny, right?
Yeah, like Angnock.
But
Angnock.
it's pronounced Arnok. And the reason
Anok.
I know that is because it says it on the
Yeah,
box. Now
exactly.
you know that you've got a problem with your name if you after
Yeah,
you
you
put the
need to put
pronunciation.
pronunciation. That's how I felt my whole life, man. I should have put a pronunciation on my name and kind of just not
Well,
had to do the something thing.
how do people pronounce? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Hey, like I should have just gone with like my name is João and how you say it is J Wow, like
And
J
then
Wow.
everywhere you go, and I like it. We've
Yeah,
just changed it. You've got a whole new career ahead of you.
I know, bro.
Well, lovely.
No,
Should we
it's
try this
beautiful.
thing?
Yeah, totally,
So
man.
this distillery just had its 125th birthday. It's a
Wow.
12-year-old Highland Scotch whiskey, and apparently
Yeah,
it's one of those old school ones where like they made the recipe in the 1800s and then they never changed it. It's exactly as it
man.
always was.
That's crazy, man.
So
Sounds
what do
really
you
special.
drink when you drink?
I like gin.
Ah,
Like I have my own gin, which I liked gin before I had my own gin, but I like gin. And I actually really like beer. Yeah,
are
I
you a
didn't get that. I didn't get that swaggy. There we go.
are you a craft beer man or a any
um,
old beer man?
I'm not like you know what? My palate is not like very mature when it comes to alcohol. Like as long as it doesn't burn my mouth and my throat, then it should be cool. I used to actually really enjoy tequila when I used to perform
Mm,
because I saw Justin Timberlake do it, and then I thought, oh shit, maybe that helps.
I need to do that.
Yeah,
Well,
it
bro,
just got me
love,
really drunk on stage,
nice to see you. Amazing to see you.
bro.
Really honored to have you here. Cheers.
Yeah,
To
cheers, man. Thanks for having
share
me.
a bottle of Anok with you.
I know that's it, man. That's smooth, man.
Mm,
That's
I don't know
delicious.
how to describe. I'm such a pleb. I like whiskey, but I don't know how to describe the taste or do any of those things.
Yeah,
Peaty.
what I do kind of feel is that obviously it's ridiculously smooth,
Mm,
but it's also quite like for me it's quite fruity. It's quite sweet.
it is
Whereas like
quite sweet.
normally for me whiskey is like just harsh.
Smooth for a smooth guy. That's why.
That's what I'm talking about.
I do want to just tell you your new video and track Mamela.
Woo!
Smooth, bro. You so smooth. Everything's so smooth.
Shot, John. I
You got
appreciate
this
it.
thing, you know what a great vocalist. I mean, you just have a great voice. You have this ability
Thank
to
you.
be really quiet in the mic. See, with me, I was always like, it's a microphone. You have to shout in it, you know?
Yeah.
And then whenever you're recording an album, it's like, Jesus, I do a lot of shouting. Even when I'm like singing softly, I'm like overly projecting. You have this way of just like you and the mic are just two little friends who are having a quiet conversation. And you get so much cool stuff
Oh,
out of that. And your delivery
I'm
in that
pretty,
track, so like, hello, I'm just,
yeah.
I'm just Jay.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I love everything about that song, man. It's just a very special song. So I'm glad you dig it.
So tell me, what have you, since I last saw you? When I last saw you, what were we doing? We were going to do something just
We
around
were working
lockdown.
well, the last time we spoke was around Amp Studios and the thing we did with Old Mutual and the time that I had with Ravusi and just revisiting all of that, which was I was pretty stoked just that kind of got televised. And I guess that you managed to like put all that information out there for so many people. Like that for me was really special.
Have you seen the picture of you and Vusi that we're busy sending you?
Yes, yes. I have. I mean, I haven't seen it framed, but I can't
I've got
wait,
it
dude.
framed in this
Find it.
room. I've got your
Wow,
copy.
man.
It is such an incredible photo that.
Yeah, I still stay in touch now with Bravusi because of that day. Like still check up on him, and yeah, just an amazing relationship built from just an innocent little moment.
He is a so we're talking about Vusi Maklasela, by the way. Have you seen? I don't know if you saw him recently on that fundraiser, but he's lost a lot of weight. He's like
Hey,
skinny.
man. Yeah, I didn't actually get to watch that. I wanted to watch it, and I had something on.
Yeah,
But I've been checking up on him and just to see how his health is doing. But yeah, what a legend, man! All the
what a
stories that
dude.
I got from him around him and Dave Matthews, like I'm just like, what? He's speaking like Dave Matthews is your homie, and he is his homie. It's
He is
crazy.
it. They're buds. I mean, how crazy is that?
Yeah, it's wild, bro.
So I know Vusi because I don't know how long ago. Many, 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 many years ago. It was probably 2001 or two. I don't know how I wangled this. I managed to pitch this idea for a documentary series to SABC 2 or 1 or 3, and they had very little budget. And my idea was to do documentaries on 7 of the like biggest legacy artists in the country.
Wow.
And Vusi wasn't even a legacy artist. I was just a fan. That's all. So I put him on the
Sure.
list because it was like Miriam Makeba, Hugh Masekela, Lucky Dube, Soweto Gospel Choir. I did these 6 documentaries, and the 7th one was Vusi.
Wow.
And I went to his house in Mamelodi.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, that guy is just an amazing dude. An amazing
Yeah,
dude.
legend, man. Like I think that like you speak about the tone and you speak about like vocal approach and
Mm,
mic technique and just I guess what we call tone and like just his tone and approach, his melodic sort of ear. It's just phenomenal. I think that's
bananas.
so unique.
His nickname in the 70s, the 80s was The Voice. That's what they called
Okay.
him. Well, during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
struggle, because he was a political activist during the struggle, and
Yes,
they called him
yes,
The Voice.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a
Not
legend.
not to harp on Vusi forever, but I've got to tell you this story as well. Um, the first time Cassette was nominated for a Sama was 2007, and we got invited to do a performance.
Wow.
And I went there and pitched the idea of doing a performance with Vusi Maklasela. But
Okay.
this, I didn't know. I mean, I'd met him once, and this was my idea. I wanted to do a James Brown dance off, like big soul train vibes with Vusi. And I didn't know him at all. So I went through his manager, Lance. And
Yes.
Lance came back with this message and he said, Vusi will James Brown anyone off the stage. Get ready. And we did this thing where we like had he can
Oh, dude,
dance,
that's
that guy. Like
rare.
he is James Brown. It's
Wow.
bananas.
Yeah, what a legend, man. Sure.
So back to
Really.
you. Enough of stories about Vusi. Um, just before lockdown, you guys were busy considering a record deal, which I see has now happened.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit
We
about, yeah.
yeah, I mean like just like nuts. We've been doing now Casa for 10 years. It started technically 9 years, but 10 years since we met. And because I think that the day we met was like it was so unexpected that for me it's the birth. It's like the day we fell in love. And 9 years or so that we've been doing what we do independently, we've managed to do what we've managed to do
Mm,
independently. And I think that for us, my thing, because I've always been like sort of like a bit of a leader within Mikasa. Like I kind of have a vision and I'm a bit of like a control freak, and I want to try and take it somewhere. And
I know the
I felt
feeling.
like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I felt like maybe we needed some support to take it to another level. And to be honest with you, it was not something that we purposefully went and chased. We randomly got a call in the beginning of like this mess, this COVID thing, and and it was like, yo, we would like to sign you guys and take you guys, globally to sign a deal with Universal Global and Afroforce in Germany, and it was just too good to be true. That and also because like we had this album. I don't know if you've heard the whole project, but you have to give it a listen. Like it's the best work we've ever done. And I know that the reason why I'm saying this to you is that I know a lot of people that maybe boxed or like Mikasa was not necessarily their vibe. Like maybe it was, it's cool, but it's not an album that I'm gonna go listen to. This album is different, man. This album is amazing. And I think that that's what also like when Universal heard that, it was like, damn, like this is a global album. I don't think we've ever made global music, and I think that we made very South African music, and now I feel like we're really making global music, and I'm excited for it's it's such a pity, but like everything I guess happens for some odd reason. But I really believe that this album is going to change the game for Mikasa.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
I
was
never,
it difficult releasing an album in? Sorry.
I never thought I would be able to say that. To be honest with you, I was like, this is the last try. This is like I'm gonna try because I was so frustrated with what we had become. Like you become this like commercial pop beast, and you now making music to get on radio and to get gigs.
You see,
And
Jay.
even when,
Sorry,
yeah,
carry
yeah.
on. Carry on.
Well, even when you're writing music, like you write music because I know how to write a pop song.
Mm.
I can do it with my eyes closed. Like I know how to write a song that's gonna go on the charts for radio. Like it's something, but you end up doing this, and you end up like almost like losing yourself because you're trying to chase something else. And with this album, I was like, you know what? Screw it, man. I just want to write what I feel, sing how I want to sing, whether it sounds commercial or not. And I dig it. It's my favorite Mikasa album of all time. 10 years
That's
later.
awesome. That's. I mean, that's. But this is kind of my issue with you. Like, you should be a real asshole. Um, you know,
Oh man.
from the outside, man. First of all, you got like golden pipes. You like blessed with the pipes of
Nah, thanks.
angels, right? And then you're to an outsider. Your life story is kind of like, look, I got on stage with these DJs, we made a song, and
Yeah.
then that was these streets, and then suddenly we're stars, and I'm like, oh, that was by accident, and then I know you work hard. I'm saying in between there's lots of hard work and stuff. Then I'm just
No,
gonna hold on,
sure.
take a break, and I'm gonna take some photos of do some cooking. Oh, suddenly like I've got a cookbook. You can't. You need to make more mistakes and public mistakes. And
you know, like you joke about it, but like I believe that, and I don't want this to sound off because it's not. It's as genuine as I can be. But like
Mm.
I believe that the biggest problem that Mikasa's ever had is that they've been too consistently good, and there's no drama, there's no bad story, there's not even like, I mean, one or two bad songs along the way that I think, but like not really. Like most of the songs that we put out have gone in the top 100 or whatever. Like, and I feel like, man, maybe I do need to like make some stir the pot
You
a
need to
little.
fail hard, bro, and feel like learn to feel
Drink
like
this whole bottle right now.
that's that. Okay, now we're talking. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's it. We gotta get you. We gotta make a mistake tonight with you.
yeah,
We're like,
exactly. Gonna drink this whole bottle and jump you in the pool.
yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's really cool, and I also know you obviously put the hours in, and
Yeah,
also
man.
what is also apparent is your approach to stuff. You're really like on your shit when you're doing a project. It's not frivolous. You want to connect to it and all of the right stuff. Can you tell me a bit about your parents, maybe, or your upbringing, or how you became like the the asshole you're not?
It's funny because I think my dad was quite a dick. Like I think he was like he was not the greatest example in the sense of like a man, you know. He messed my mom around a lot, and like he was like a player, you know, like he loved women, and I think growing up like that. But also, with that said, you know, he passed away a couple of years ago, and he'll forever
I'm
be a
sorry to hear that.
legend. No, thanks, bro. He'll forever be a legend, even though he was a bit of an arsehole, like to my mother, you know, like and to us. But he's my
To you
father.
as
But
well.
yeah, like to us, like there was a lot of drama growing up. You know, I moved to South Africa when I was 7. My dad got a job here in the Eastern Cape. He was in the hotel business industry, and he did food and beverage. That was his profession. And I moved down with my mother and him, and my brother, who's 10 years older than me, stayed in Portugal, had to go to the army and whatnot. And then kind of they split after some time, and the guy left without permanent residence documents. So then the police came to like pick my mother and I up, wanting to like
No,
deport us. It
man.
was like a whole battle. But
Would you,
anyway, you know,
how old did you say you were? 10?
I was like, at that time I was maybe like 10, 10, 11. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
So that was quite hard to see my mother like have to. My mother is why I believe I am who I am. Like she was like this. She's a soldier, man. Like she will make a plan with anything. She knows how to make everything feel and look amazing. She would like. There would be times where like my dad would like kick her out the house, and then sometimes she would take me with and say, "Hey, pack clothes in a plastic bag. We're gonna go have a picnic or a sleep out," but only to then realize that she was actually getting kicked out of the house. But she wanted to like protect me. But I
Did you
think because
realize that then, or you realize that
no,
now?
no, 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 I only realized that later. You know,
Wow.
like because I started to then see her outside the house through my window, and I would see shit. Now she's been kicked out again, and there would be always fighting, and you know, I mean, it was a very abusive relationship, physically and emotionally. But with that said, my parents both, in the food industry. My mom owned a restaurant for 18 years, and I think that like that for me taught me a lot about being passionate. My mother and my father were both really passionate about what they did. And for me growing up, like I wanted to, I don't know how I became me, but it definitely had a lot to do with my mother and the people that I was around, the friends that I had, the teachers that I had, the mentors that I've had growing up, the things that I got taught, where I grew up,
Hmm.
my brother,
What's your
yeah.
brother like?
My brother is 10 years older than me, and he is an amazing creative. He's a designer, and he's created a couple of his own brands as well. And he's really cool. He's for me. It's like really taught me to do what I love at all costs. Like to never do something just because it pays, and that for me, I would say that if I had to be really honest with you, like I've tried to pull that into everything that I do. Maybe 20% of things I didn't really want to do, but maybe the money was too good to like turn down, or
Yeah.
maybe it was like just an opportunity of like, ugh, I should just do this. But most of the things I do, I really want to do them.
What did your dad do?
My dad would like he was.
I mean for a career.
Yeah, he did food and beverage for
Oh, as
like many
well.
hotel groups. Yeah, many hotel groups, and he would go like and set up like restaurants or the food and beverage within a hotel, and that's how we landed up in South Africa. Although my dad and my mother opened up the Super Bowl in Sun City for Sol
What?
Kersner. She did the PR of Sol Kersner's birthday before I was born, and my dad used to run food and beverage at the Cascades. My brother used to live in
That's
Sun
crazy.
City, and that's why for me, the first Summers being in that Super Bowl, knowing that my mother opened that place up, and I was staying in the Cascades that night, I was like, "This is crazy, man. This is
That
shit
is
like nobody
crazy.
will ever know." But like for me, it's something that I hold dear. To think that my dad was once there, and now here I am, like living my dream, picking up all these awards. It was crazy.
Well, this one's to missing dads,
Yeah,
gone dads, and powerful mums.
that's it, man. That's
Yeah.
it. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, cheers. Mm.
It's a powerful one. We need, and I believe that, like, I believe that the way that I grew up, the father that I had, has also impacted me to be the man that I am. And I say this, John. I say this with a lot of pride. Like, I take a lot
Mm.
of pride in being a man. I take a lot of pride in being who I am. How I portray myself, how you see me, is how I am.
Mm.
It's how I am here at home. It's how I am on stage. I don't change for nobody, for nothing. Because it's important, because it then gives me a constant. I am my own constant. Like, I don't need everything changes around me. As
Mm.
long as, like, I can look in the mirror, and when I had kids, it even got worse, because then I was like, I want to. My goal, it's very personal, but like, my goal is, I want to die being able to look at my kids in the face and not ever have to feel like I had to lie to them about who I was. I want to, if my
Mm.
kid asks me, "Did you ever cheat on your mother?" I want to be able to look at him in the eye and say, "I never did that." And that for me is like, it's a pride that I hold so deep, that, like, I cherish that more than anything.
Well, I guess you also you witnessed firsthand the exact opposite,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
learned what you didn't want. You get two choices: to be just like your parents or to be nothing like them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. Yeah.
And
That's
most of the
true.
time, they're not choices.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, have
Um,
you been, from a music perspective, you've been working through this? What have you been doing during the mad period?
it's been really hard, man. I've been really, like, a little bit deflated from it, because I think that, I don't know. I felt a little bit like, uh, disposable, or replaceable, or not really needed. Yeah, I saw once the Sunday Times published on the front page the most, what was the word? The most non-essential was music or
Well,
entertainment.
and that proved to be exactly wrong
Yeah,
information if
man.
you actually
It
lived through that.
broke my heart. You know how everybody wants a song in the background, but nobody needs the
But this is
show.
a this is I'll just say my opinion on that is this is a general South African um, uh, you know, always the arts comes last in this country. When it comes to
Yeah,
anything, it's considered to be unnecessary, or like, why would we put money into this thing without? And I think what was quite amazing about lockdown is it actually showed the value, showed the importance
yeah, yeah, yeah.
of what it can do for you that nothing else can do.
And I
Yeah.
said it here at home the other day. I said, what was crazy, man? Remember that day that guy in Italy played the trumpet out the window?
Yes.
It was a global story, bro. That was the hope of the world. And you know what? That guy was just playing his fucking trumpet out his window, and he got nothing for that,
Yes.
but he gave everybody hope.
And we had vuvuzelas as a direct result of that. So everyone was a trumpeter. Everyone in South
Yeah,
Africa
yeah,
became
yeah.
a trumpeter overnight.
And you remind me of a story, man. Like, because every day at 7 o'clock, I think it was, they would blow the vuvuzelas. And after some months, I still heard one guy, man, one guy on his own blowing that thing, and I was like, "Shit,
Yeah.
that's my hero,
Ay,
bro."
ay, ay.
But I have been making music. I've actually made some incredible. I made a project that I'm still trying to think how I'm going to release. I made a project called Covered 19, where it's just
What covered
covers,
19.
covered, just covers of, like, my favorite artists and artists that really impacted me. And I've got that all ready to roll. I just need to have the balls to do it, I guess.
Who's on that list?
I did Stimela. I did
Ah,
Michael Jackson. I did Elaine.
you did the song Stimela, or you covered the band Stimela?
No, I covered Zwagala.
Oh,
So I did
cool. Oh,
Zwagala.
cool.
Oh, dude. I mean, I'm gonna send it to you when we're done here. I'll send it on your
Wow.
WhatsApp. Like fire, fire, fire.
Okay.
I did like a liquid deep cover.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
did
you what Michael Jackson track did you do?
what
You
Michael Jackson.
you very
I love.
Michael Jackson on the Mamela, I have to tell you as well.
Yeah,
There's a
bro. Like I'm a Michael Jackson
Yeah,
freak.
but you went back to when he was 11. You were like you were
Oh man, what? I need to find that
How can you
that.
forget what Michael Jackson song you covered?
Yeah, sorry, man. I did butterflies.
Oh, that's a really really
Oh,
overlooked tune. Everybody
bro,
hated that album, that Invincible album, but it's hot.
dude, that
And
track. Wow.
that and the production on that album was really crazy. I actually
Yeah,
think he stole. When I heard that album, I thought he'd come to South Africa and stolen like the sort of Kwaito production vibes with the cheesy
yeah,
synths
no,
and that deep groove, and that's what it sounded like.
no,
But it
totally.
just sounded amazing.
And the butterflies was. I've never had the guts to try and
Great,
cover
what a great song choice, bro! I'm blown
thing.
away by that.
Wait until you hear it, man. Wow. If I
Cool.
may say so myself, but yeah, like I really really enjoyed that. So I managed to get that done during lockdown,
Wait, who
and then
else? I want to know who else on the list.
I'm actually pulling it up here. I've got like I did Ray Orbison, Pretty Woman,
Cool,
um, because that was like a track that like my mom used to crank at a restaurant all the
great
time.
song.
I did Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine. A really cool flip on that.
Shit.
Bro, I
Isn't that
did.
dude Bill Withers? I mean, if
Woo!
you the guy is, and he's got a weird story. His story is like he did one album and then like thought and or two whatever became the biggest star in the world and then just quit. And when I said this is not for
Wow.
me.
No, I didn't actually
Um,
know that.
but his vocal deliveries really
Yeah,
are
yeah,
something
yeah.
unbelievable.
And then I did Sixpence, that Kiss Me.
What?
Remember that track? Kiss me down by the Milky
Oh
Way.
yeah, what? Well, they called
Me.
Sixpence. I don't
Oh,
remember
bro,
that name.
Sixpence. Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't that?
Uh,
Why do I think that was Natalie Imbruglia? Have I lost
I
my
think there
mind?
was I think there was maybe another version, but I think that Sixpence did the original. I might be
Huh.
wrong, but I think that I'm right. Yeah, and then
Hmm.
yeah, I did a Mikasa, like I did a really beautiful take on church bells, acoustic vibe, like very much more me, because like I'm not really house. Like I love soul, I love blues, like I love R&B, man. Like I love funk, but I think that what I did with Mikasa is I try to bring that to the table and fuse it with house. So this
Y-
project it's quite nerve wracking for me because believe it or not, I've never released anything of my own. So this is a cover. It's a covered project, covers,
Right.
but still, it's how I hear myself. It's me making music here
And
at
is it all
home.
acoustic, or have you got? Is it with a band, or is it just
No,
produced by
no,
you?
it's got production on it that myself and JM did. So JM are these two really talented brothers from PE that now actually live with me, and I've been mentoring them now for the last 2 years, and together we've been making some mad music.
And a weird question, I know. It's just if you have you your Universal deal, is that a license deal or an artist deal?
Artist deal for Mikasa.
So does that mean you can release solo projects outside of that, or do you have to go through Universal?
No, I individually,
I
I'm
don't know
I'm,
why
I'm
I'm asking. It's just that's where my
no,
mind
no,
goes.
no. Individually, as far as Jay something is, that's a separate deal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But
Well,
yeah, we'll see what life brings.
and you've got a studio at home. And also, that was the other thing. You were getting into live streaming before. That's something we were doing. We were talking about doing something.
I
What
was
was
chatting
it?
to you. I was chatting to you
Oh, I
about.
remember now. There was a
Yeah,
project we were going to do together of like
yeah,
lounge concerts or something.
yeah. I wanted to do some concerts online. I think, and I was chatting to
That's
you
right. That's
about
right.
like
That's right.
equipment and whatnot.
And you had built your whole live streaming setup for home right before lockdown, and I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. And I literally only used it for the boys, for JM. I spent so much money on that shit.
Ish.
And then I started seeing everybody performing online, and I was like, I don't want to do that unless I'm making money. That's my only asset.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really good at, man. Like I can't be putting out that stuff for free. Come and join me on my Facebook and while I perform for you. Like
Bro, but that's why I invented busker, dude.
I know. And it did really well, huh?
Say again?
I said it did really well, huh?
Yeah, it had an amazing life for a period of time. It was unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it
Yeah,
was a
cheers
rocket
to that,
ship.
bro. Cheers to that, huh?
Cheers. It
Well,
was. I don't know. I don't know about that.
no, I think that like what's important for me to say on record, and I guess since we kind of together now, is like I've always really appreciated, and it came more to life for me when I realized that you were actually a really good artist. But before I actually knew that, because I didn't know that you were an artist, I knew that you were this guy that always came with like cool ideas to do like cool shit online and at events or something, you know.
And
And
pissing off everyone along the way. That most people know that.
yeah, yeah, no, I didn't know. To be honest, I didn't know that part. But I
Uh,
think that, like, for me, like, I really, what I've learned from you as well is that to be there for others. I think you've always cared for others whilst also trying to make an opportunity for yourself. But you always, in all your opportunities, I found like you've carried quite a lot of people with you. And I appreciate that about you a lot. And I'm only
oh,
one, not even one glass in, huh?
well, keep them coming if I'm going to just get compliments for the rest of the show. This is the show where I invite people to come in, get drunk, and tell them how much they
Exactly.
like me.
Exactly.
Look, this I have a very complicated and checkered past, in the sense that I feel like I'm very misunderstood, and
Yeah.
I'm quite sort of like a stomp on people's toes and faces all the time by accident. My philosophy in life is what I would love to do in life is, my band didn't have the success that you did. We tried and we worked hard and we toured globally, but in South Africa, there's fucking nothing. There's no
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
infrastructure. People are struggling, and the music industry has so much global potential, but no one will ever know that. You'll never find the great artists, the Jays
Yeah.
or the Bongaziwe Mabandlas who are singing on the ass end of Africa who are global talents, you know?
Yeah.
And what I've always tried to figure out is how do we fix the industry, help people, and then try to monetize the process. Because you never, like we said earlier, the frustration is there's no government support. Nobody wants to support the arts. So the only
Yeah.
way you can do that is by creating commercial animals that also try and fix the industry at the same time. That's what AMT is. It's like a commercial
Yeah.
venture that also tries to solve a problem.
Yeah. Totally, man.
But at the same time, I do tend to ignore the protocols of the music industry, and that's where I really get. I've had some bad
And
experiences.
there's too much red tape in that thing.
There are two things I will tell you. This industry is too small to tell you a name, right? But I will tell you the story because like I don't sleep at night. I was doing a project. I was doing a project, and fuck, I don't actually care if he hears this. It's fine. I won't mention it. It's a very well known person in our industry, right? I was trying so hard to get this other project off the ground that was going to benefit lots of people, and this person was working for a major label, and you know this person.
Okay.
And I had just started working with my then business partner, Carl, who didn't really know us. We were working there. We're best buds now. We work together and everything, but he was still new
Sure.
working with me. And this guy said, "Come, I need to meet you in the boardroom." And he sat me down in the boardroom, me and Carl, who he'd never met before. And he said, "John, stop fucking about in my industry. You're not welcome here." You
Yes.
know? Yeah. He said,
Crazy.
I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but this is my industry, and you shouldn't be fucking about in it. Now get out of here. And and he did this in front of a total stranger.
Sure.
And I just that really sticks with me. And a lot of these things are like revenge of trying to say fuck you. This can be done, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, those mountains you have to climb, and that's like I guess that life wouldn't be as exciting and whatever if we didn't have these mountains. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's part of the vibe.
I've seen quite a lot of different color animals passing you. How many pets do you have?
Yeah, those are my goats. No,
My goats.
I have two dogs now. My homie, my best friend, my little. I had a dog, a bulldog, for like 7 years, and he passed away. Like now,
Oh,
during lockdown, that was really hard. I actually like even if I see a picture of him, I get super emotional. I feel
shit.
like a little bit weird, but I have like one bulldog,
So
Sally.
that little black thing that was walking around was not a cat.
No, that's a little miniature Yorkshire Terrier that we picked
Right.
up at the SPCA for my kid. And yeah, they just scare the dog the whole time. Dog's just scared
How
of the
old's your
kid.
kid?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. You got two.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody,
That's
I don't really
sick.
talk about it. Nobody really knows, but I guess now it's like kind of
Oh,
out
I don't.
here.
We don't have to. I can delete that bit if you want.
No, it's okay.
I can't really. I don't edit these things. They are
Yeah,
what they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
um,
But they just terrorize the poor dog.
what is your like a part of this podcast? Why we break out the whiskey and stuff is to sort of explore vices and stuff. So what are the bad things that you do? What are your bad habits?
I love. I don't actually like drinking. Like I think out
Mm,
of like the drinking, like I guess you have drinking and smoking. Like I like smoking, but I don't smoke because it's bad for my voice. But every now and then, I'm like, damn, I just want to smoke.
Did you used to
Um,
smoke? Oh, are you talking about cigarettes here?
yeah, I dabble a little bit in both, like a little
Mm,
bit of greens and a little bit of like I love. Um, I love what marijuana does, the potential it has for people. I'm super excited about the recent sort of found interest or opening up of that
mm,
industry. I'm really excited about it. Having been through cancer with somebody very close to me,
wow.
it's been a really important tool, especially from an anxiety point of view, more than anything. Um, but yeah, I dabble a little bit. I don't right now, because just like I don't dig what it does for my voice, and for me, like I would rather have my voice than anything else. So like
Mm,
when
mm.
I have the flu or something and I can't sing, I'm like, that's my mojo, bro. Like just leave me in my room. I don't want to talk to anybody until I get. But that would be my vice, I
Oh,
would say, like
mm,
a little like a joint or like I like cigarettes. I'm not really into anymore, just because
mm.
like they just throw me off from the bad vibe. But I dig it. If it was healthy, I would definitely
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I was. Who was? I think I was speaking to. I was speaking to Theo Kraus on one of these, and he
Okay.
said something like, "If I could do drugs successfully every day, I would. I just can't. I can't do them successfully. You
Yeah.
know, if I could figure out how to get it right.
Yeah, I remember like I've never taken drugs or I mean if marijuana is a drug for me it's not, but like if it's I've never taken like drug. I've always been scared of. So I'm not really like I don't dabble a lot in bad things. I'm not much of a drinker, so if I get drunk it's because I want to get drunk.
So when you're on tour, like it can for long periods of time, is it very just do you party hard, or are you just like about the work,
No.
or
Then like I think because of like how things have turned out, like after a show, like I tend to like just want to go and rest and chill because like I don't
all
get to
about the
chill.
music, bro?
Yeah, and also like you at the after party or whatever, but you're not really there because you just
You don't really know anyone. It
pictures
kind of
with
sucks.
everybody. Yeah, and like and there's all these bounces, and then there's people asking for pictures, and like I feel bad. I'm like, yeah, and then I just end up taking pictures the whole night. So I tend to I guess my vice, if I had to
Hmm.
pick one, would be food. You know, like I wish I could be like a skinny six-pack guy, but I'm not. Like I'm a little bit chubby guy. Like I love food. When I'm on tour, that's my thing. Like I would rather go to bed early after the show so that the next morning I can go and check out this place to go and eat something.
Are you married, Jay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Happily married
How
for
did you meet your wife?
5 years this year, bro. It's a
Oh,
big
nice. Congratulations. It deserves another one.
champion.
Hmm. This
Um,
whiskey is smooth, man. It's going down
very
well.
good, very good. Yeah. I met her in Joburg. So when I arrived in Joburg, I knew nobody. I knew this one friend of mine, and I asked him to introduce me to his friends. And then like one thing led to another. I met this girl. She was dating another guy. I became friends with that guy a little bit, and then they broke up, and then
This sounds complicated now. Now this sounds juicy. Hang on a sec. I think we found something, guys.
no, I mean it may sound juicy, but yeah, I don't know.
No,
Like
I'm just joking.
I literally like just yeah, I felt hard. I felt
Mm,
hard for this person, and now like I look back on it, like there was times in the beginning where I was like, shit, man, maybe this is really wrong what I'm doing. And now when I look back and I look at like our life and I look at like our kids and how happy we are, and how she makes me feel, I'm like, nah,
what's it
probably
like being married to you, do you think?
nah, good, huh? I like I said, like there's probably two things that I hold more valuable than anything else in life is to be a really great husband and a great father. Like
Mm,
all the other stuff is bullshit. Like not bullshit, but like it's not as valuable. For me, like my career could end tomorrow and I'd still just want to be a great husband and a great father. And that's why like when I'm on the road, when I'm doing what I do, I always think about them. How would this make you feel? So I actually take a lot of pride in that. So I could answer that very confidently to tell you that I think it's pretty awesome being married to me. Cheers
nice.
to that.
I like I like that. I want to
Yeah,
keep that.
yeah. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
obviously awesome being married to my wife as well. No doubt.
So is that number two? That's the second one.
No, no, no. It's on equal.
No, I'm just joking. What song do you wish you had written?
Sade, by your side.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Great
Like,
tune.
there's just something about it, the simplicity, but yet the just perfection of it all. Um, just everything about that song for me, like, just speaks volumes. I've always been passionate about using music to make a difference, but I think also using music to remind people of values that I think are really crucial to this life. Obviously, love being of the most importance. I don't write love songs because love songs are popular. I write love songs because I believe that love is the most important thing on earth. And so, but Sade, the whole band, just the vibe, that song for me, it's like it's mine and my wife's song. So that's the first song that popped to my mind.
Hmm. Oh, cool. So when
So
tell me a little bit about when you're writing, are you a melody man, or you're a words man, or you're just a tinkler?
I'm a bit of both, to be honest. I'm a very, it's a problem that I can't seem to get away from, but I'm kind of like just kind of going with it because maybe it's just what I'm supposed to be. But I'm a very authentic writer. I write about what I feel and what I believe in. I struggle to like sometimes I'll start writing a song about like being in the club and this vibe, and I'm like, that's just not me, man. And I end up sounding like a real chop. So I would say that before I even go to melody or lyric, I'm authentic. So I tend to
Mm,
sit down and say, like it's like an intrinsic evaluation. How am I feeling? What am I thinking? And then sort of trying to put that down.
So are you storytelling or are you
Yeah,
expressing? I mean,
I'm more of like a storyteller.
mm,
And I like the thread in a song. I like a beginning and an end. I love choruses to kind of tell the main element of the song, and I like verses to kind of like help you get to the chorus. It's kind of like how I think a lot of the times.
this is going to sound really random and it might be the whiskey talking. It would be really fun for me if you would indulge me on this. Do you have a guitar near you?
I mean, I could get one.
Grab one quick. Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah, quick.
gonna. Cool. If you're cool with this, I'm gonna fill up my glass. So Jay is running down the house. He's disappeared into the house in the background. I'm pouring myself a new whiskey. Um, that's the sound of that. Let's see what he's gonna bring back. See what he's gonna bring back. Okay, he's bringing a guitar. Jay, this is why I love this podcast series. It's just so random.
Yeah, you know what to expect, huh?
Well, I don't either. And that's why I've really loved this series, and I think it's also why it's doing well because it's just there's no agendas here. So this is what I want to ask you. You don't have to write anything good, okay? You can't write anything that you've written, but
Okay.
talk me through your process of like where you start noodling, where the words come, and you don't have to just write anything in the way that you might write something.
Um, if I'm jamming on guitar, I would
Yeah.
tend to like
What is your
first
instrument of choice?
no vocal. It
Oh,
would be my
okay.
because sometimes like I will be able to be I could hear bound up, down up, bound.
So then you got to run home and work it out on an instrument.
Yeah, so then it's like bound up, bound up, bound. I would want to go and pick that up from what I hear. So I'm not a
Well, slow
I
down,
don't know.
slow down, slow down. Have you got perfect pitch?
I don't know.
How come you found that chord straight out the bat? Is that something you've practiced
No,
already?
no.
No, but you
No,
sang that and you hit the chord
I
straight out the
know.
bat.
I don't know if it was like a fluke thing, but it's just
Okay.
maybe. I've heard this perfect pitch being discussed about me for some time,
Okay,
but I
well, I
don't.
think you just proved it. Let's put it to bed. Carry on.
I tend to like have that melody first. So I'm hearing like the gaps in between of the sort of instrumental lead, which I would call this.
So were you just singing a vocal melody or were you just singing the rhythmic
Yeah,
melody
so,
now?
I mean, like I guess it could be that. So then I would. It all varies because I could really start to think of something that like if I've been thinking a lot about, let's say, I can't wait to make love to you. Let's say that was
Who,
like
me?
no no,
Is that what you've
but
been thinking for 49 minutes?
let's say that was sort of what I tend to be really excited about is I would try and fit that in. But now what I did now was kind of find a melody on top of a melody. So I just wanna give up to you. I just wanna give it to you. Say you wanna give me, I just wanna give you my love. Say I just wanna give you my sweet love and all that and I need. Tell me what you need, babe, and I'll be there. So tell me what you need, baby, and I'll be there. And then back to kind of like main melody.
So was
So
that your chorus or was that or you don't know yet?
I'm
You don't
just
know.
fooling around with you here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
then with the doobie dubs and doobie dubs, do you start finding words that
Yes. So like scabba dooba doo. Like that for me is like it probably could be a guitar lead on its own, but because I can't do that on guitar, I use my main instrument, which is my vocal. So I would want to go, tell me what you need, baby, and I will give it to you now. No, just don't, so
That
it's
is
trying to use
cool.
what I have
Yeah.
to fill what I hear, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Don't stop there. I want the next part.
And then like I love a change in a
Yeah, yeah,
song.
yeah.
So it would be tell me what you need and I'll be there. Tell me what you need, babe, cause I just wanna feel fine. And like a bridge, oh, Dr. You always on my mind. Oh, tick, ooh, da, dee, da, hey. And I would kind of like go back. I love a moment in a song where it's like, oh shit, where you going now? And then bringing it back to that happy place where it's kind of comfortable.
Dude, that
Yeah.
was just magnificent to watch. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, shot.
Are you a Stevie Wonder fan?
Yes. Yeah,
Because
big Stevie Wonder
yeah,
fan. Marvin Gaye.
you
A little
you're a
little
chameleon vocally, really.
bit. Yeah. I, I even as far as like going to like for me like neo soul was
Yeah.
like a really big finding for me. I remember that when I was in grade 8, I was like a skivvy. I had to look after matric,
Hmm.
and I was a boarder, so I had to like clean his room and do his laundry and whatever. And I remember
Where
that
was this?
in Grahamstown,
Were you in
at
Grahamstown?
I went to Graham College.
You
Yeah,
kidding me?
yeah, bro. It
What?
was the best time of my life. It
What
was
you? Oh, you younger, so you. I wouldn't have been. I went. I
yeah.
studied there. My wife's from there, and my best
Oh
friend went
wow.
to school there as well. I've got a lot of roots in Grahamstown.
Wow, Grahamstown, that's the place, bro. My mom lives
You were
in
at
Port
Graham
Alfred.
College.
I grew up in Port Alfred, so my mother lives there still.
What?
Yeah, dude. That's where I'm from. Yeah,
Okay.
and
Sorry,
um,
carry
and
on.
and I remember that in his CD player, he had like a 5 disc CD player. I remember that it was like epic, bro. And
Five
he,
disc CD players. I
yeah,
haven't heard
dude.
that or thought about that for a while.
And he had 112. I don't know if you know the band 112,
Mm-mm.
like a Boys to Men. But they had this
Right.
this one album. Well, I think it was called Part 2 or Part 3. I can't remember what it was. But like, that's where I was introduced to like R&B soul, and I was like, damn, this is me, And then I went on a trip of like listening to D'Angelo, to Music Soul Child, to Dwele, Craig David, a little bit more popish. Like I was into John Legend, and yeah, and then also at the same time, I was into like George Michael and like James Brown. Like it was like a mixture, and also I would dig like El Divo, and
Yeah.
Andre Bocelli. Like I literally was like I'd listen to a lot of different things.
And then how did you start getting into the really South African stuff?
It was
I
at
mean, I don't
school.
know if, that. I mean, not to keep bringing you back to that Mamelo track sounds like it's bordering like I'm a piano style. It's like got so
Yeah, I guess
many.
it's the tempo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very far from my piano, but I guess the tempo
But you've
kind of.
got a local flavor that's runs super deep.
Yeah, you
And
know what it is. And I have no idea. Yeah, like there's a part of me that like kind of I don't really wish it, but like I think that there's a big part of that people think that I do or I am the way that I am maybe to gain market share, but it's just how I grew up. I grew up, interested in culture, interested in our differences, and interested in languages,
mm,
interested in learning more about others. So for me, like when it came to like including language or adapting to or learning how to dance or learning, for me that was all part of my mission to like learn about others.
mm,
And I remember that like with the dancing thing, I remember it was at school. Like I saw chicks go wild when the guys would get into the circle and dance, and I was like, damn, I need that, you know. So I started to try and like
Make the
copy what
circle
they did.
bigger.
It totally, bro.
I have to. I've got two more questions for you, and then I will let you on your merry way. Hugh Masekela, please tell me about your experience with him. I'm obsessed
Yeah,
with that man.
yeah, John, like I remember I got a call one day from Mercedes Benz, and they wanted to do this collab where they wanted to put me and Rahu in a car, and we needed to write a song about South Africa.
Had you ever
And
met him before?
yeah, like, but not, I didn't know him.
Mm.
I knew of him, and I'd met him, like, we had done it like one or two shows together, and we had, but I didn't, he was always like, here, and I was like here. Um, And I remember even when that opportunity came about, like to be honest with you, man, I didn't like, oh my God. Like I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And I think that's one of the things that like I really learned is that to be present is one of the greatest gifts we could ever give ourselves. To just be here with you right now in this moment. To think back to when I start thinking about like our relationship, I think back to 2010 Summers. Like I remember you hustling on that social media. Like you were doing videos on that, and you were quite involved. And so I'm as present as I am right now for everything that we've done
I'm
together.
surprised. Number one, I can't believe you remember that. And two, I'm
Totally,
also remembering the music video I mean, the live video that I
a
did with
live
you,
video, bro.
which I'll just tell you this on the side, not to interrupt, but the entire Sama committee
Yeah,
rejected that video to death and told me if I do this, I'm doing it by myself with no budget. And that's why we handmade all of the props.
crazy, dude, crazy. I mean, that till this day, people still speak about that performance as one of the
I know,
best.
I'm proud of that day. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
carry on. But I can't
And
believe you remember that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, of course, man. And then I was in this bus heading down to like Tsitsikamma Forest around that area with Brahu, and I spent so much time with him that it like it like switched on the lights for me. I was like, get out of here. But there was something that really changed. Something that really impacted me was a moment in that bus, and he said to me, and it was a while after we had been together. I had already written the song that I wrote with him, "Heaven and You," and I was supposed to write a song. Sorry, I'm all over the place, but I was supposed to write a song about South Africa, and I realized that I needed to write a song about him because that, for me, he was just like it was. The moment was bigger. He was bigger than like the task, and I remember that he told me, he said, "You know what? I have met people that I believe are possessed by the music gods, but I've met only a few of them that I can count in my hands." And he started to mention people, like I can't remember the names, but he mentioned Brenda Fassi. He mentioned there was a lot of like big
I think he
names.
was like mates with Miles Davis and shit
Miles
as well.
Davis, he mentioned
Yeah.
Miles Davis. He mentioned Fela Kuti. And then he said, and he looked at, and I'll never forget this. He looked at me and he said, and you one of them. And I was like, nah. Like I couldn't, and I still to this day, man. Like, and what happened after that was I had him here in my house, man. He was here telling stories, meeting my kids, being with my wife, like became like he would call me and say like, "Yo, what's for lunch?" Like, and I just think back to that. Music
Wow.
gave me that the ability to pick up my guitar and like just write a song, and I wrote that song in 5 minutes, John. 5 minutes, and we were sitting next to, and he loved his weed, so like he was always blazed, he was always blazing, and I remember like we got back, and I went to his room, and I said, "Bro, Hugh, I know it's late, man. Do you think I could just play you this song what I wrote?" And I wrote it, and I played it for him, and he was just like, "This is it. This is perfect." And I'll never forget those moments.
I mean, that is unbelievable. And then, I mean, I don't know if you ever read his biography, or you might.
Still trying to get my hands on that book, man. I've been
Oh, I've
asking
got a
more.
copy. I'll give you my copy. Well, I'll lend you my
Love it.
copy.
Yeah, lend it. Yeah, I'd love that.
But I mean, for
Yeah,
someone
for
to
real.
say that, that is unbelievable. He is one of the gods, like the
Yeah, yeah.
actual gods. So, I mean, that's incredible, Jay.
It's
Really
one of the things that,
unbelievable.
yeah, it's almost like one of the things that's been an anchor for me, like because there's a lot of times where I feel like, I mean, I guess we all go through it. I feel a little inadequate. I feel like, you feel like, what should I do next? Like, and I always go back to that moment, and I think like, here's one legend that saw this in me. That's
You
enough.
know, you know the Rolling Stones song, Jumpin' Jack Flash?
No.
It's one of the greatest Rolling Stones songs of all time. Of all
Okay,
time.
I'm gonna give it a listen.
In 1968, that song was the number one song on planet Earth on the US Billboard charts, only to get knocked off the number one slot by Grazing in the Grass by Hugh Masekela.
Wow.
That's the dude who is having dinner in your house, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. No, listen, I'll never forget being able to perform with him, to record
Wow.
with him in a random fucking hotel room,
Unbelievable.
get to share a drink with him, and just to see him hold my kid, like, yeah,
Wow. Well,
power.
man, I'm very happy for you. I will tell you this one thing. In a couple of weeks on this podcast series, I'm doing a special Hugh Masekela edition. Because before he passed away, he was on my radio station, The Eye, and
Yes,
he told one of the coolest stories that I've ever heard. And it's the Zaire 74 LP that he put out.
yes,
He told the story of that LP, how he and
sure.
Stuart Levine put the Rumble in the Jungle concert together, how he called up James Brown and Aretha Franklin and said, "Come do this thing in Africa." How him and Stuart built a recording studio on the stage, brought all these artists from around Africa, recorded this album, and then Don King heard about it and basically stole all the rights to the whole thing and shelved the album for 30 years and eventually released it. And
Sure.
I'm putting that out as one of these episodes.
Wow.
I'll tag you in it because it's a brilliant
Yeah,
story.
please, no, please, man. I can't wait.
But wow, I mean that
Him,
really made my night. That story.
and John, like it's crazy, man. Like I'm literally now, like on that wall there that you see, there's like the wall this way. I'm actually busy doing some prints because when I look back in my short little life, man, my little career that like started off
How old are
as
you, Jay?
30, 32.
Fucking child.
Like, yeah, man. And like when I started, I was 21, 22.
Mm.
Like it was just, I knew nothing. And to think I have written songs with Brahu, Ladysmith Black Mambazo. I've performed with Bravusi Mahlasela, Ray Peary. Like,
Whoa,
man,
what
like
did you do with Ray?
bro, like I did one of the most, Ray Peary is an
That's my
artist.
all-time hero right there.
Dude, like I did a performance with him, and I did one of his songs together with him, and he did one of our songs together with
No,
us.
fuck, you blowing my mind, Jay. I'm not handling this.
And I've never seen myself in another artist as much as I saw myself in Ray. Like his demeanor, his belief in music, his passion for being on stage, what he believed that moment to be about, the
Hmm.
opportunity that you get when you're on stage and you're in front of so many people, you can change their mood. You can give them so much life and hope. Like he made me see that, like, yo, that's why I'm there. I'm there to make people feel good emotions. And I got that from him, and like that, it was his demeanor. Like when I dance, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that it makes people happy.
Mm.
So I let my body do what it wants to do. And I got that a lot from him. You know, that he was one of the artists that like really impacted me a lot.
Hmm.
And I really miss him. Like I really miss feeling like shit. I could have really gotten to know him more. You know. Anyway, but
That guy
I've
was
done
a
that.
dude, man. And
Yeah.
to the end, a
Yo.
beast. A beast. That's
Yeah,
could play
man.
that guitar.
Beast, bro.
Yes,
Even
it's
like
a shame.
when I did Swagala and I just heard what he was saying on the song.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't actually pick it up until you break it down.
Mm.
And you're like, man, this is it's such dope songwriting. Like their melodies were like insane. Like it's just crazy.
This is not meant to sound. This is not meant to be insulting to the bands of today. But I did a project. This was also life changing for me. I worked with the original members of Stimela and
Wow.
Ray. It was like belated trying to kind of put a little tribute thing together. And I'd been working a lot with some of the biggest, or rather not mention, like some of the biggest South African bands at the time. But when I was
Yeah,
working with Stimela, I was like such a different level. I realized how unbelievably outclassed you are in a room with those guys. It is
man.
next level.
No, I'm telling you, dude. Like
Amazing.
insane, bro.
I can't believe you did something with Ray. That really is. And have you got a record? What did you do with Ray?
We
I'm gonna
did.
Google that one.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually. I think it might even be on YouTube. I actually did. I did Swagala,
Oh yes, as you said. So I got it.
and
Okay, I've
uh,
got it.
and
I've got it.
I,
That's what I'm gonna watch now.
oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
Mm.
a wild night. Like it was really a special moment.
Jay, I just want to thank you for your generous time. You've spent over an hour with me tonight, and I really appreciate it.
Oh,
And
bro,
just
it's
for those
really
people at
special.
home, I just want you to know that we were scheduled for 2 nights ago, and Jay was
Yeah,
sick as a dog, but still wanted to do it. He did. He just wanted to.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
stops this guy, and I really appreciate that. I'm honored to know you. I've loved getting to
Likewise,
know
yeah.
you a bit more in the last, say, year, and
Likewise,
I hope
I mean it a lot. Like
I hope we do something fun together.
I think I also feel like we've done a lot of cool things together. And every time I see your name on my phone, I always know that there's something epic coming, and I want you to know that like I'm there for you. You know, like if you need me for anything, I'm there, bro. Like because
You got to be careful saying that to me, bro.
no, I don't say it to a lot of people. I don't say it to a lot of people, but there's
Well,
something special about your heart, and I mentioned it earlier, and that's how I wish to end this thing. Is that
well, thank you, and back at you. Really,
thanks, bro.
it's an honor, man. That is what's your
I'm gonna
poison. This is Jay something. Thank you. Well, what's this whiskey called again?
Anak,
Anak. It's been a
Anak.
pleasure doing some anak with you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, bro. I'm gonna send you that Stimela cover now on
Ooh,
WhatsApp. So you can listen to that, but don't share it with anybody.
I'm keen, man. I'm keen. Lots of love to you and your family, man.
Lots of love, my G. Likewise, sir.
Cheers,
Thanks for the
cheers.
whiskey as well, huh?
Enjoy it, man.
Ciao, brother.
Cool. That's it.